This is Brother Medina for Tuesday, Seventh-day Adventist. And please let us start with a word of prayer. Loving Father, be with us as we show the lateness of time, as we show what is taking place, and bless all listeners that they may recognize that the end is near and that we have done our duty as watchmen on the walls of Zion to blow the trumpet when we see danger coming. These mercies we ask of you, and thank you for hearing us and granting us your Holy Spirit right now. In Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen. Well, we are continuing our personal talk, and this is Personal Talk 6. And we want to continue talking about what has been going on in the United States of America. We have in our hands here a whole pile of documents from various foreign organizations and news corporations in the United States that have revealed certain things that are going on to that country. Now you say, why are you so concerned about what is going on in that country? Because the Bible in Revelation chapter 13 explains very carefully that it is the United States in Bible prophecy that will influence the whole world to develop a system of governance that would enable them to enforce religion while denying people their rights and freedoms. Yes, my dear people. And as that will happen, we need to watch and see what is going to take place. Now, although the Bible tells us this, in the realm of those who are seeking to bring about a new world order, they have certain plans and they have certain procedures. Their chief claim is that America must lead the world to the new world order. And they all accept the fact that the United States Constitution is the single document that have been preventing the United States from becoming a part of the New World Order and therefore influencing the rest of the world. Yes, my dear people. So the aim is to change the U.S. Constitution. If they can get the U.S. Constitution changed and get America to be just one of those, what we call democratic republic that is pro-socialist, like France and these other European nations, then the whole world can be brought into a new world order without the blocks and checks and balances of the U.S. Constitution influencing the world and stopping these plans from coming forward. These things have been worked out in think tanks, organizations over the years. And we've read many books and many documents that show that the U.S. Constitution is a single document that is holding back the New World Order. As a result of that, there are many people in the United States that are working to change the United States Constitution to bring about the New World Order. And as they're doing that, certain things are taking place. And these are some of the things we want to show you. We want to show you just what is going on there, that you would recognize how late time is and that you might prepare. Now, I have in my hand here a shocking document. This document, the name of it is, Why Does the U.S. Government Need 30,000 Guillotines and Over 600 Million Rounds of hollow point bullets? That's the name of this document. Now, you might be shocked. You may say, 30,000 guillotines? Now, guillotines is a kind of a weapon that cuts off the head of a captive. You put the head in a vice, put the person's body lean forward, put the head in a vice, and you just drop this guillotine and it takes the head off clean. Now, the Bible in Revelation chapter 20 did tell us of those who stood against the beast and his image. Some of them were beheaded because they stood against the beast and his image. Now, if the Bible tells us that in the future, Christians will be beheaded, some of them, it would mean to say that we must have guillotines existing in different European nations and different parts of the United States. Well, my dear people, we now have 30,000 guillotines placed in different parts of the United States alone. And in Europe, in various cities, guillotines have been installed. You ask for what reason? For the same reason it was invented, to kill people, as in the French Revolution of the 1789. Yes, my dear people. Now, let me read one of this document here for you. Here is what it tells us. I quote, "There are over 800 prison camps in the United States." Did you get that? 800 prison camps. Who are they hoping to imprison? Why? Their own people. You see, to bring about a new world order, to change the constitution, there are many people that will disagree. And once they disagree, they will be up in arms because America believes in holding guns to protect themselves, according to the Second Amendment right of the U.S. Constitution in their Bill of Rights. And as a result of that, people will resist. Because of that, president after president have been pushing those who are in favor of the New World Order and working in harmony to bring about America as a new world, as part of the New World Order. They have been working to undermine the U.S. Constitution, including the Second Amendment right, which is the right to bear arms. And for that reason, a lot of false and fake FBI and CIA terrorist threats to the United States have been manufactured with money and with fooling young people as if they are on terrorist drills. And as a result of that, they then declare, well, look, this is a terrorist act, you have to give up such and such rights, and so on. And they have been successful in the United States. So the last bastion in that Constitution that has protected all of us in the world is about to go. Yes, my dear people, because it is slowly being chipped away. And here we see about 800 prison camps in the United States to house people who will disagree with these plans. I continue. All fully operational and ready to receive prisoners. Did you get that? These prison camps are all fully operational already, and they are ready to receive prisoners. They are all staffed and even surrounded by full-time guards, but they are all empty. These camps are to be operated by FEMA, meaning Federal Emergency Management Agency, should martial law need to be implemented in the United States, and all it would take is a presidential signature or a proclamation and the Attorney General's signature on a warrant to which a list of names is attached. Ask yourself if you really want to be on that list. You see, my dear people, so the president will have to sign an order, the Attorney General will have to sign a list of names attached to the order, and immediately America has declared martial law, and the list of names are people who are to be taken to this camp. I am told that there are more than 3 million people's name on this list already. Did you get that? America even has a terrorist list with the names of people themselves in the United States on this terrorist list. And when they go through this terrorist list, if they find your name on it, you can't fly on any airplane in America. For that reason, a 5-year-old boy's name was on the list, and he couldn't take an airplane with his parents. Now you tell me, what is a 5-year-old boy's name doing on a terrorist list? Did you see what's going on here? All kind of unjust and all kind of wrong things are going on. And this, all towards bringing America to the New World Order. Yes, my dear people. Let me continue. The Rex 84 program was established on the reasoning that if a mass exodus of illegal aliens crossed the Mexican-U.S. border, they would be quickly rounded up and detained in detention centers by FEMA. Rex 84 allowed many military bases to be closed down and turned into prison camps. So that was the logic and the reason they gave for doing it, not to hold Americans, but in case a mass exodus take place on south of the U.S. border. Good Lord, who is going to get 30 million or 10 million or 15 million or 3 million Mexicans suddenly rushing to take over the United States? Nobody. But yet this was the reason they did for it. I continue. Operations Cable Splicer and Garden Plot are the two sub-programs which will be implemented once the Rex 84 program is initiated for its proper purpose. So then there are two other sub-programs that go with Rex 84. They are Operation Cable Splicer and another one by the name of Garden Plot. Now let's just hear a little more about them. Garden Plot is the program to control the population. Did you hear that? Garden Plot is the program to control the population. Cable Splicer is the program for an orderly takeover of the state and local governments by the federal government. Yes, my dear people. So here is this. You have the local governments. Local governments are governments of different states. Then you have the federal government, the government over all the 51 states of the United States. Now, if you want to get control of those local governments, you have the governors and the political system there. You can't just take it over like that. So, what have they done? They have something called Cable Splicer, which is a program, and this program is for an orderly takeover of state and local governments by the federal government, so that there will be no opposition to FEMA or the Federal Emergency Management Association or the federal government. Now, I continue. It says a Cable Splicer is the program for an orderly takeover of the state and local governments by the federal government. FEMA is the executive arm of the common police state that will and thus will head up all operations. The presidential executive orders already listed on the Federal Register also are part of the legal framework for this operation.
Executive Order 10990 allows the government to take over all modes of transportation and control the highways and seaports. 10995 allows the government to seize and control the communications media. 10997 allows the government to take over all electrical power, gas, petroleum, fuels, and minerals. 10998 allows the government to seize all means of transportation, including personal cars, trucks, or vehicles of any kind. 10999 allows the government to take over all food resources and farms. Executive Order 11,000 allows the government to mobilize civilians into work brigades under government supervision. 11,001 allows the government to take over all health, education, and welfare functions. 11,002 designates the Postmaster General to operate a national registration of all persons. 11,003 allows the government to take over all airports and aircraft, including commercial aircraft. 11,004 allows the Housing and Finance Authority to relocate communities, build new housing with public funds, and designate areas to be abandoned. 11,005 allows the government to take over railroads, inland waterways, and public storage facilities. 11,921 gives the Federal Emergency Preparedness Agency the authority to take over all banking institutions in the United States. As we've just seen, there are laws on the books that make it perfectly legal for the United States government to suspend citizens' rights. However, if we look to the founding documents for guidance, we'll find that it's not our government that bestows these rights upon us in the first place. According to the founders, all of our rights are unalienable. So what does that mean? According to Webster's dictionary, the definition of unalienable is not capable of being transferred to another, or in layman's terms, non-negotiable, not to be forfeited, or birthright. How much plainer can it possibly be? Our founding documents tell us that these rights cannot be transferred or taken away by anyone, not by any person, not by any government. So if the government passes laws that violate the Constitution, how can they enforce those bad laws? It's very simple. We let them do it.
So somebody says, well, no, America has a constitution. This can't happen. There are something called executive orders in the United States. And these executive orders also form part of the legal framework for that operation that we're talking about here, my dear people. I continue. The camps all have railroad facilities as well as roads leading to and from the detention facilities. Many also have an airport nearby. The majority of camps can house a population of 20,000 prisoners. Currently, the largest of these facilities is just outside Fairbanks, Alaska. The Alaskan facility is a massive mental health facility and can hold approximately 2 million people. Yes, my dear people, did you see that? Executive orders associated with FEMA that would suspend the Constitution and the Bill of Rights exist. And these executive orders have been on record for nearly 30 years. Yes, my dear people. Let me just read a few of these executive orders for you that leads to this kind of a system that we are talking about here. This horrible thing America is facing. It says this, Executive Order 10900. It allows the government to take over all modes of transportation and control of highways and seaports. Executive Order 10995 allows the government to seize and control the communication media. Executive Order 10997 allows the government to take over all electrical power, gas, petroleum, fuels, and minerals. Executive Order 10998 allows the government to seize all means of transportation, including personal cars, trucks, or vehicles of any kind, and total control over all highways, seaports, and waterways. Executive Order 10999 allows the government to take over all food resources and farms. Executive Order 11000 allows the government to mobilize civilians into work brigades under government supervision. Could you imagine that? So you would become part of a kind of a work population for these prison camps and for what the government will be seeking to achieve. Executive Order 11001 allows the government to take over all health, education, and welfare functions. Executive Order 11002 designates the Postmaster General to operate a national registration of all persons. Executive Order 11003 allows the government to take over all airports and aircraft, including commercial aircraft. Executive Order 11004 allows the Housing and Finance Authority to relocate communities, build new housing with public funds, designate areas to be abandoned, and establish new locations for populations. Did you see that? So if you have a whole population that is pestilent to this push for this new world order in America, they can invoke this executive order, remove that entire population and put them in a completely different population and allow the former place to be abandoned. All this towards the new world order. And the facts are, look, executive orders already exist for it. That's what we have here. Executive orders already exist for it. You see, my dear people, Executive Order 11310 grants authority to the Department of Justice to enforce the plans set out in executive orders, to institute industrial support, to establish judicial and legislative liaison, to control all aliens, to operate penal and correctional institutions, and to advise and assist the president. Yes, my dear people. Did you see what's going on here? And so, all these things. Let me give you Executive Order 11921. Here's what it tells us. I quote, it allows the Federal Emergency Preparedness Agency to develop plans to establish control over the mechanisms of production and distribution of energy sources, wages, salaries, credit, and the flow of money in U.S. financial institutions in any undefined national emergency. It also provides that when a state of emergency is declared by the President, Congress cannot review the action for 6 months. For 6 months. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has broad powers in every respect of the nation. Yes, my dear people, did you see that? So the point about it, for 6 months, the Congress can't do nothing about it. This will give the government time, or FEMA time, to advance their plans. And all this is already set up in the United States. Now, don't think people do not know. There are people there who know all of this thing. That's how we came by this document. And there are states that are planning to break away. Texas is planning to break away. Texas has even printed their own clandestine currency. Yes, my dear people, they have printed silver bullion currency. This speaker here, I've actually seen video footage of these people doing these things. And there are 11 other states that are seeking to break away from the Union, so that there will be different countries instead of being part of the United States. These are some of the horrible things that are going to be taking place. Some people want to leave their country, Trinidad and Tobago and others, and run away to the United States and stay there. Why do you need to go and stay in the United States? It's not a land of plenty anymore. People are in gross unemployment. There are plenty economic problems. There is a tightening hold upon the reins of power. People are losing their rights and freedoms there. Why would you want to go away and live there and stay as an illegal alien there? At least you can just go for a visit. But why would you want to go and stay there? It's not a place to go and stay. And this is the country that will lead the world in the end, according to Revelation chapter 13. They will enforce a type of government that can allow for the enforcement of religious dogma and at the same time persecute people by making them lose their rights. That's exactly what Revelation 13 tells us. So why would you want to go there in the first place? Now here is this next document I have here. The name of this document in my hand is Sarah Palin. And this is Sarah Palin speaking. She says, Feds are stockpiling bullets for civil unrest. So here is Sarah Palin, former governor of Alaska, and she was running mate with John McCain when they went up for presidential elections. And here she is showing what she knows is taking place. Let me quote for you what she herself said. I quote, this document tells us, it says, former governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin, has warned that the federal government is stockpiling bullets in preparation for civil unrest, adding that America is finished. It cannot deal with its debt problem. This is what this governor said. I continue. Writing on her official Facebook page, Palin remarked, if we are going to wet our proverbial pants over 0.3% of annual spending cuts, when we are running up trillions of dollars annual deficits, then we are done. Put a fork in us. We are finished. We are going to default eventually, and that's why the feds are stockpiling bullets in case of civil unrest. The post achieved nearly 12,000 shares, attracting nearly 60,000 likes and over 4,500 comments. That is the post that Sarah Palin put on her Facebook page. I continue. The Department of Homeland Security has committed to purchasing around 2 billion bullets over the course of the last year, in addition to buying 7,000 fully automatic assault rifles last September. The agency referred to them as personal defense weapons. Although the mainstream media has played down the purchases as the feds merely saving money by buying in bulk, the ammo buys have contributed to shortages across the country. And do you know what? There's this organization that produces targets for law enforcement agencies to practice when they're learning to shoot weapons. And on these targets, they usually have the outlines of human bodies. But on these new targets, do you know what pictures they put on these targets for people to learn to shoot? Pregnant white women holding guns, young white boys holding guns, the average white American farmer holding guns, and also other people, teenagers holding guns. So if a person is training to shoot now, he's training to shoot pregnant women, little boys, aged grannies and grandfathers, and teenagers with guns. So they're actually preparing the psyche of law enforcement organizations to shoot these kind of people, which are the kind of people that may oppose this new world order. However, concerns were further stoked when last week when Law Enforcement Targets Incorporated, a Department of Homeland Security contractor that supplies shooting targets to the agency, along with thousands of police departments, was forced to apologize for producing non-traditional threat targets, which featured images of pregnant women, children, and elderly gun owners in residential settings. So they were forced to apologize for doing that. Did you see that? So what do we have here? We have here the government is purchasing huge number of bullets while simultaneously portraying anyone concerned about the fact as erroneous and paranoid. And the media has part to do in this whole thing. The Department of Homeland Security has also been busy buying large supplies of body armor, leading to more shortages. Last year, the agency put out an urgent order for not for riot gear in anticipation of civil unrest. The agency has also ordered bulletproof checkpoint boots and hired hundreds of new security guards to protect government buildings over the course of the last 12 months. Palin making the connection between the federal government's arms buildup and America's economic decline is noteworthy, given how other countries have experienced domestic disorder in the aftermath of financial turmoil in recent years. As we explained in a recent article, generating mass social dislocation has been an admitted tool used by the World Bank and the IMF to create the necessary chaos to loot major economies. End of quote. Yes, my dear people. So, look, what do we say here? We've just read a few documents here for you. And all these documents show that trouble is coming. The United States is in real trouble. And when they're in trouble, we will be affected. Yes, my dear people, because they're the most popular country in the world. They influence the economics of the world. And if they are affected, we will be affected. But what we have been doing here is warning you, letting you see what has been going on. And there are actual preparations for real trouble that is coming. Yes, my dear people. Now, we will have to continue this discussion here. But we want you to know what we have shown you here is to help you recognize that time is late and you need to prepare. So, you can call us at 625-0446. 625-0446, and we would give you further information. And may God bless you until we meet again. In Jesus' holy name.